All right, let's talk about gold. Just as we're about to ring in 2026, something pretty interesting is happening in the Indian market. After a huge rally, prices have suddenly started to drop. So what's going on here? Let's break it all down.
And really, this all boils down to the one big question, right? With prices dipping like this, is now the time to buy? That's what we're here to figure out. Okay, so first things first. We're seeing prices fall for 3 consecutive days, right before the new year. In market speak, they're calling this correction mode. Basically, the price is just adjusting after getting a little overheated.
But here's the thing, this drop isn't just coming out of nowhere. It's happening right after a massive record-breaking rally. So for anyone who's been thinking about buying, well, this is actually pretty good news. The yellow metal is suddenly a little more affordable. So just how much have prices actually fallen? Let's get into the specific numbers from December 31st.
Let's start with 22 karat gold. That's the go-to for most jewelry in India. It's seen a drop of 300 rupees for every 10 grams. And if we look at pure 24 karat gold, that dip is a little bit bigger. We're talking 320 rupees.
And then for 18 karat, it's down by 240 rupees. So as you can see, it's a pretty consistent drop across the board for all the major purity levels.
And here's a look at how these rates are playing out in some of India's major cities. Now, you might notice something a little funny with the Mumbai numbers. The 22 karat price is listed higher than the 24 karat. That looks like a simple data error, like the numbers got swapped. But what it does show us is how these prices are being tracked across all the big metro areas.
Okay, so we've covered the what. We know prices are down, but the real question is, why? What's actually causing gold to get cheaper right now?
Well, it really comes down to one key global factor. The US dollar is getting stronger. The best way to think about it is like a seesaw. When the US dollar goes up on one side, the price of gold tends to go down on the other. See, gold is traded in dollars all over the world. So when the dollar gets stronger, it actually makes gold more expensive for anyone buying with a different currency. That naturally cools off demand and boom, the price drops.
Okay, so that's the global economics of it, but let's bring it back home. What does all this mean for you? Well, think about the timing. We've got lower prices right before the new year, which is a huge time for gift giving and new beginnings. So the thinking is that this little price dip could be just the trigger to get people buying again. It could really boost the demand for jewelry and coins as we roll into 2026.
So we need to put this dip into perspective, right? Is this a big deal or just a little blip? To figure out what might happen next, we have to zoom out and see what the experts are saying.
And wow, this really puts it all into perspective. Remember, 2025 was an incredible year for gold. With all the economic uncertainty, people flocked to it as a safe bet, and prices shot up by a massive 66%. So when you think about it like that, this 3-day drop, well, it's really just a small correction after a seriously amazing run. So what are the pros saying? Well, analysts over at Nirmal Bang Securities have a specific game plan. They're basically saying, hey, you could buy in at this level, but set a stop loss. That's like your safety net. It sells automatically if the price falls too far. And then aim for this target price to sell and take your profit. So what they're really saying is that they see this as a smart, calculated opportunity to buy, not a reason to panic. And all of this leaves us with the million-dollar question, doesn't it? Is this just a temporary dip, a quick little buying opportunity before the price climbs again? Or is this the beginning of a whole new downward trend for gold in 2026? That's the big unknown, and you can be sure everyone is watching very, very closely. Thanks for tuning in.